It goes without saying that AI is the future. After all, it's being implemented into nearly every field to help make everyday tasks easier and to allow the work of industries to be more efficient. However, there are some pieces of AI that are so high-tech that they are really a little bit scary. So today we're going to go over the top 10 freakiest artificial intelligence products that are currently under development on this episode of Super Freaky Science. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay updated on our latest stuff. Number 10, SOPHIA the robot. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past few years, you've probably seen a video or read a news article about SOPHIA the robot. Completed on February 14th of 2016, she was developed by a Hong Kong-based company, Hanson Robotics, meant to serve roles in fields such as customer service, healthcare, and education. SOPHIA has an extremely active memory, as she's able to remember information, learn new things, and respond to situations in the same way a human can. She can also use her realistic face to make more than 60 human expressions, and has the capacity to joke around, think creatively, be creative, and as of 2018, to walk. It's because of this that SOPHIA has gained a number of honors. She's been made a citizen of Saudi Arabia in 2016 and was named the United Nations Development Programme's Innovation Champion in 2018, making her the first non-human to be given a United Nations title. And with Hanson robots continuing to turn out even more humanoids, it will likely only be a matter of time before there are even more robots following in SOPHIA's footsteps. Number 9. Sex robots. While most pieces of AI are allowed to be used in public, these robots are instead supposed to be confined to the bedroom, spanning across all price ranges and having various pieces of tech associated with them. To date, the most notable of them all has been a brand of doll known as Harmony. Designed to look almost exactly like a real human, she's capable of remembering things that are spoken to her and can be preset to have a number of personalities that include intellectual, insecure, moody, and even frigid. Not sure about that one. She also can be fully customized to fit one's desires. So fully customized, in fact, that the factory she's made in has a grand total of 42 different nipple options for the doll. Okay, along with countless different hair and body specifications. Most interesting of all, depending on who you are and your perspective, her usable parts are in fact able to be put through the dishwasher. So she could theoretically become your lifelong companion as long as you're willing to fork over the $5,000. Number 8. Robot soldiers. While the robot takeover of the world may seem like something that would only occur in a movie, a new breed of robot soldiers may make this a reality sooner rather than later. Now, the use of robots in combat is not a new concept. In fact, the first military robots date all the way back to World War II. But they've always been rather simple, as they've typically been operated via remote control and had almost no ability to act independently. But in 2019, the US Army officially announced that they were trying to change this narrative. That's because they have plans to create robots that can understand verbal instructions, carry out tasks alone, and then report back to superiors, with such machines having the potential to perform scouting duties and perhaps reduce the amount of soldiers fighting in the field. These warring robots would certainly be of use to any army. Number 7. The schizophrenic computer. At first glance, creating a schizophrenic computer may seem counterintuitive, but such a device could be useful for helping schizophrenia patients. So in 2011, researchers at the University of Texas decided to take on the project. Now, the research team started with a computer programmed with a neural network nicknamed Discern by its creator. Designed to act like a real human brain, the researchers used the computer to test the hyper-learning hypothesis. The hypothesis states that people with schizophrenia suffer from the inability to rank memories in order of importance due to their extremely high levels of dopamine in the brain. As a result, they often get drowned in their own thoughts, mixing up stories and speaking incoherently. Now, while this hypothesis is yet to be proven, after running it as a simulation on the Discern program, The brainwaves shown on this piece of AI and the minds of schizophrenic patients were almost identical. Therefore, this computer really could help pave the way for future work with both schizophrenia and many other mental health issues. Number 6. Predictive policing. Now this is a creepy one. Typically, criminals get caught during or after they commit a crime. That makes sense. However, many police departments are trying to turn this dynamic on its head by using AI to practice predictive policing. In essence, predictive policing is the act of using AI computer algorithms along with existing police data to estimate which people on the police's database are most likely to commit a given crime. This doesn't sound problematic at all. This AI algorithm is extremely extensive, poring over everything from past gang affiliations, friendships, social media activity, and drug use to identify quote-unquote hot people who should receive increased monitoring. And while many would argue that such a practice is an infringement on people's rights, it has nonetheless become increasingly popular as the technology continues to advance. And using AI to help police profile people isn't even the freakiest utilization of artificial intelligence we'll see in this video, so get ready for some super freaky stuff. Number 5. Medical assistance. When going to a walk-in clinic or hospital, it's pretty normal to expect the doctor you're seeing is competent. After all, they've gone through years of school in order to become certified. Medical doctors should know the answers to most of your medical problems. But the reality of the situation is that oftentimes there are just too many factors in the human body for a person to get an accurate diagnosis. And in order to counter this, modernizing medicine was created to give doctors a web-based repository of medical information and insights. Acting like a medical Wikipedia, the technology uses collective knowledge gathered from roughly 3,700 providers and more than 14 million patient visits to automatically give customized suggestions as to what a doctor should do in a certain situation. And while it doesn't replace doctors completely, it provides medical professionals with info such as what alternative medications can be used to treat illness or what disease a given list of symptoms can correspond to. Modernizing medicine allows visits to the doctor to be more efficient and effective. Number 4. Self-driving cars. While AI can certainly help us both at the workplace and at home, it also has the potential to bring us to where we have to go. That's because in recent years, self-driving cars have become more and more popular across the globe. Using AI to enable cars to navigate through the traffic and handle complex situations, this technology comes with a number of benefits that just can't be realized with a human driver. For example, self-driving cars would be programmed to never miss a safety measure, such as a stop sign, crosswalk, or even a yield sign. And they would be set to always drive at the speed limit. As a result, despite them currently not being road legal in many countries, self-driving cars could easily end up being much safer than their human-controlled counterparts. Number 3. AI hackers. It goes without saying that the more people gain internet access across the world, the more incentive there is for hackers to take advantage of this. And in order to assist their hacking efforts, cyber criminals have begun to get more creative, using AI to make their attacks especially egregious. For example, hackers will often make use of smart botnets, which communicate, decide, and launch a cluster-based attack on a victim without the need for a human to intervene. There is also the threat of AI accessing features such as text-to-speech, speech recognition, and natural language processing in order to identify high-profile targets and specifically go after them. But most worrisome of all, AI hacking tech often has the ability to practice machine learning, getting smarter and smarter each time it's used. As a result, AI hackers could potentially overtake their human counterparts sooner than you might think. Number 2. AI Barbie. While kids of decades past used their imagination to pretend that their Barbie dolls could walk and talk, the Barbies of the future may be able to do this on their own. That's because in April of 2020, Barbie released the Hello Barbie, which is a doll that can realistically respond to a child after being spoken to. Coming with 8,000 plus lines of dialogue spoken by a voice actor, the Hello Barbie has the ability to remember what a child says to them in order to better tailor their responses to the child's personality. To top it all off, All conversations between a child and their Barbie are then sent to a ToyTalk's cloud-based servers for analysis, allowing them to compile a huge cache in order to help improve the technology in the future. If that's not creepy, I don't know what is. As a result, this just goes to show that the toys of the future will probably be a step above many of the ones around today. Number 1. Siri. No list of AI intelligence products could be complete without the inclusion of Apple's Siri support robot. Coming standard on all iPhones, Siri works by making use of speech recognition and natural language processing. Speech recognition is perhaps the more mundane of the two. It's the process that turns one's spoken words into written commands, but it's the natural language processing that is truly impressive, as it uses several algorithms on these written commands to understand the intent of what the user is trying to say, allowing Siri to act like a full-on personal assistant that makes it not only extremely helpful, but perhaps one of the most widely used pieces of AI out there today. On a less automated note, thanks for watching Super Freaky Science, and don't forget to subscribe.